Thank you, Dave. 9 degrees, 8:04 at the airport. Good morning, everyone. It's life in prison with no chance of parole for 25 years. That sentence coming down for Christopher Gunther for killing 20-year-old Lacey Jones McKnight. Lacey was murdered in October of 2012. Gunther then drove around with Lacey's body in his vehicle. Gunther then tried to kill himself at an overpass along Country Hills Boulevard. That's where police discovered Lacey's body and took Gunther into custody. In a statement through his lawyer, Gunther says he is deeply sorry for what he has done and that he hopes Lacey's family can forgive him one day. Lacey's mother not convinced that this apology is sincere.
He destroyed his own life, and he took Lacey's life. And because he has shown no remorse, I cannot help but think that he's inhuman. He has no soul, no heart.
Christopher Gunther's sentence of life in prison with no chance of parole for 25 years comes after being found guilty of first-degree murder. June 3rd is when a Calgary judge will deliver her verdict in the case of a father and a stepmother accused of killing their 6-year-old daughter. Spencer Jordan and Marie Magoon are accused of first-degree murder. This is in connection with the death of Mika Jordan, little Mika Jordan, in November of 2011. The couple is accused of confining, torturing, burning, and ultimately killing 6-year-old Mika. Jordan and Magoon are now pointing fingers at each other in court, despite both admitting to hurting the little girl. Spencer Jordan's lawyer says his client admits to pushing the child the night before her death, but says Jordan did not cause any of the injuries that killed Mika. Marie Magoon's lawyer says his client did abuse Mika, but says she had nothing to do with the head and abdominal injuries that the court has heard led to the little girl's death. The Crown argues Jordan and Magoon both tortured Mika for 3 days, leading to her death. No arrests yet in the first-ever triple murder in the city of Lethbridge. The killings leaving people in the West Side neighborhood in shock in that city. We know the ages of the victims, but not their names yet. The victims are a 24-year-old woman and 2 men aged 18 and 27. The murders all happening with connections to a unit in a townhouse complex along McGill Boulevard. That's quite close to the campus of the U of L, by the way. Investigators say the scene is horrific, and police believe the bodies may have been in the townhouse unit for some time. At least one neighbor came across evidence of the gruesome scene.
It's difficult because they were clean cut, you know, they're good looking young kids. And it's sad for their families what happened. So.
No community deserves crimes of violence where 3 people lose their lives for any reason. It's not something that we want to be known for.
Crisis support workers are helping loved ones of victims right now. At this point, police in Lethbridge do not have any suspects. South of the border, the first night of a curfew has given way to a morning rush hour in Baltimore, Maryland, after a relatively quiet night. It started off with about 200 protesters defying the curfew, once again throwing bottles at police, prompting officers to fire pepper balls and smoke canisters. About 10 people were arrested. The curfew was imposed after rioting erupted after Monday's funeral for Freddie Gray in Baltimore. Freddie Gray, a young black man who died after suffering a spinal injury while in police custody. Life is not getting completely back to normal, though, in Baltimore. And what's believed to be the first in Major League Baseball history, today's Baltimore Orioles home game against the Chicago White Sox won't have any fans, not one fan in the stands. The game is closed to the public, so it doesn't draw away any resources from the city of Baltimore.